What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Fearless, and today we're going to take a look at making a perfect template in Ableton. So I'm going to show you the exact process that I went through when I made my template so that you can copy it and you can have the best template for yourself. So if you're ready for this, let's jump right into this. Alright guys, so as you can see, we are starting out with a fresh slate here. All we have is one MIDI track loaded up, and we're about to get going. So, if you use audio tracks more than you use MIDI tracks, then feel free to just make audio tracks for any of the ones that I'm going to be using MIDI tracks for. I'm pretty much going to be using all MIDI tracks here because that's what I fuck with when I'm making beats in Ableton. Alright guys, so what I'm going to do here is I'm first going to start out by just making a bunch of these. I'm pressing Command D. Just to duplicate it. So first let's make some drums. So what are some common drums that you're going to use every time? For me, I'm going to use a snare, I'm going to use a clap, use some hi-hats, maybe an open hi-hat, and you know what, we'll do a perk as well in case we want to put like a percussion on there. So what I'm going to do with all of these drum tracks here is I'm going to select them all and press Command G or Control G if you're on Windows. Boom. So now we have a group, alright? Alright, so what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to select all these tracks now that we have here, and you're going to want to select the color that you're going to get used to, okay? So these are always going to be our drum tracks. So let's say we want to use this one. I'm sorry, something keeps flying into my window, and it's like the middle of the night right now, so I don't know what the hell's going on. It's creeping me the hell out. But anyways, let's keep moving forward. So we can go ahead and name this group our drums. Boom, now that we're done with that, let's go ahead and we'll take these three right here and group them together, and we'll rename this to be our instruments. So what I'm going to do with the instruments is I'm actually going to pull this ahead of the drums because I like to start with my instruments first when I'm making my beats. So I want these to be the first things that I see. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to get them all and color them the same color. So for these ones, let's put them like a limeish green color. That looks pretty cool. Alright, so now we have our instruments here. So maybe we have a piano, maybe we have some sort of an arp, and maybe we have a lead instrument or something of that sort, okay? Alright, so we're going to move on to the last two here, which are going to be our kick and our 808. And the reason I leave these separate, we don't want to group them with all the drums because we're going to be doing separate things to them using separate plugins, so there's no reason to do that. And we might want to affect the drums differently. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put these in between the drums and the lead here, okay? So the next thing that we're going to do here is we're going to build out our return tracks, all right? Let's get three of them. All right, so this first one here, let's call this our pre-master, all right? We're going to run everything through this. This one right here is going to be for our drums. And this one right here is going to be for our instruments. So now what we're going to do is, since we're going to have all of our drums and all of our instruments routed to these ones, we can route both of those to our pre-master. So what we're going to do is we're going to say B right here. Our drum track is going to go to A. So we're going to turn this all the way up and hit enable send, all right? We're going to do the same thing on our instruments. Enable send, and then turn it up all the way. And then what we're going to do is we're going to set these to sends only, so that it's only sending. It's not going to play twice, it's only going to send it there. And then for this one, it's going to the master, okay? So we're not sending it anywhere. Now, we're going to take our drums here, and we're going to put this on sends only as well. And we're going to route our drums to our drum track. Boom. Done. We're going to do our instruments. We're going to change this to sends only, and we're going to lead this to our instruments. Boom. So now all of the instruments are here are going to this instrument track, and all of our drums here are going to this drum track, okay? And both of these tracks are going to the pre-master, so everything's routed. We just have our kick and 808 to deal with. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this to sends only, and I'm going to route my kick to my drums, all right? And I'm going to route my 808 straight to the pre-master. Okay, because there's things that I like to add to my drums that I don't want to affect the 808. So I leave the 808 all by itself, and I'm routing this 808 straight to the pre-master, which goes to the master. So my 808 skips everything else, goes right there. That's just how I do it. If you want to copy me, go ahead and do it that way as well. Okay? So now what we can do is we can go ahead and start filling these in with our favorite instruments, all right? So put in your favorite snare sample, put in your favorite clap, your favorite hi-hat, your favorite open hi-hat, your favorite percussion, whatever you have laid out here, put in your favorite ones of all these. Same with your instruments. Maybe you want to load in an omnisphere, your favorite piano, maybe you have a keyscape, whatever plugins you like to use, go ahead and lay them out here so that they're ready to go for you. Alright guys, so we got a really bad pattern loaded in here just so I can show you how this all works now. So let's take a look at this. So since everything's going to our pre-master, once we turn off our pre-master here, everything stops. Alright, once we turn off our drums, anything that's playing in our drums is going to stop. So the kick's not going to be playing, the snare's not going to be playing, but the 808's going to be playing because remember the 808 skips everything and goes right to the pre-master. And the lead's going to be playing. Alright, so if we turn off the instruments now, you're just not going to hear that piano. Alright, so we got everything routed correctly. So what you can do is you can put any effects on here that you like to use on your groups. One thing that I like to do is on this pre-master here, I would actually put my soft clipper. Alright, so the last thing I'm going to leave you guys with is go ahead and put an EQ on each of these different tracks, man, because it's going to speed up your time. You won't have to put an EQ on them because you're going to want to EQ everything. So just go through here and paste your favorite EQ on all of these separate tracks, and then you don't have to do that later on. It's going to save you so much time and it's going to be so easy. So now when you go into your template, you have everything lined up so you don't have to worry about picking out a kick. You can go ahead and lay out your idea really quick. And then you can go ahead and do your sound selection later. Alright guys, that is the ultimate way to set up your templates so that everything is routed correctly and you have everything separated out in case you want to play with anything individually. Maybe you want to put certain plugins on your lead and certain plugins on your drums. But anyways, that's how you do everything together, and that's exactly how I set up my template. So go ahead and copy that for yourselves and start making beats way faster. This is going to help so much. So if you liked that video, smash that like button for me, fam. And subscribe to the channel if you're new here. And I'll be seeing you again in the next one. Peace out.